So good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate your time, and as real estate agents, the most precious value you have is your time. So we definitely want to make use of that time, and we appreciate you giving us some of it. So the next hour, we promise to bring a lot of value, as much value as we possibly can, and bring a whole lot of great content for you. So any questions you have, this is interactive, this is a mastermind, so yes, we're going to be presenting a lot of different things to you, but we also want your input, we want your questions, we want your feedback, and we want to make sure that this is worth your time. So, if you know a little bit about masterminding with different people, you're going to learn a little bit more about it, you're going to see exactly how we do it and what makes us having so much fun, and I can promise you this, have more fun than we ever had in our entire lives in real estate. So, without further ado, you're going to meet and hear from a lot of people up here from our panel, if you will. We've got from down in North Carolina, we've got Tina Call flew in to come in to be at this event with us. She's a mega agent, mega producer, has a massive team down there doing $120 million in business. We've got Michelle Sayward, the Queen of Downriver. We've got Dan Yocker, which we have the pleasure of having in Dan's office. So this is his office. This is an EXP office. I know we're cloud-based. However, we do have physical locations, 17 here in Metro Detroit to be exact. This is one of them you're sitting in right now. It's Dan Yocker. He's hosting our event, so thank you, Dan. You've got Mark Z. Some of you might have heard of him before. He's on every billboard sign from here to Toledo. So if you haven't, just look up at your billboard signs and you know who Mark Z is. So we're really fortunate to have Mark Z as part of our mastermind. Al, who's definitely trying to put on a show. Not shy of the camera. So we got Al. Guys like Daniel Selmo, we got Kevin Jim Adjemi, mega producers, opening branch offices all over the place. So we've got a great team. We got Randy Gamble sitting up front. We've got a big team in Troy. So a lot of great people on our panel. So without further ado, I've got the really great thing to offer you guys today, and I really appreciate you guys coming because we were really fortunate. So the biggest brokerage team, husband and wife team in the country that built a brokerage of over 900 agents out in Arizona has moved their brokerage over, and they actually became part of EXP, which we are part of EXP. So now we're business partners to them, and we have the luxury today of having them here from Arizona, hanging out with us, mastermind with us for the last few days, just absolutely taking our minds to a different place. If you're looking at what do I do with my business, selling real estate's great, selling another house, it's great. If you really want to build your business, if you really want to know what it's like to build your business, you've got to get surrounded with the right people. And we couldn't be more happy, more blessed to have ourselves associated with these two people right here. So let me introduce to you our guest of today and a great inspiration for all of us, Chuck and Angela Fazio. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Boy, I'm excited here today, man. We need like
fireworks.
Fireworks, flames. Dan told me there was going to be some cool stuff, but so I got a bar instead. This is just great.
A bar with no alcohol.
Yeah, bar with no alcohol. That's a broke bar.
The tragedy.
Anyway, we're excited here, guys, and let me tell you a little about my beautiful wife and I. We built one of the largest independent brokerages in the country. We had over 900 agents selling over $2 billion a year in production. And we did that from being broke, but we also got some great awards along the way. Swain Pool ranked us as one of the top 1,000. Dave Ramsey actually gave us a prestigious Momentum Award. We're Riz Media's Billionaire Club. I sometimes just look back and go, I don't know why I'm so blessed. But God put us here for a reason, and that's to be a blessing to others. We're really excited. This is just a rock star team here in Michigan. We're all partners here, so we're going to really bring some great stuff today. But one of the questions you should be asking yourself is, why in the world would these two people closed down a company valued at about $15 million to move to EXP Realty, to move to a whole nother platform. That's what we're going to be talking about today, going over some of the details. I got to say, guys, I don't care what industry it is, the forces disrupting businesses is changing forever. Now, even more so since the pandemic hit, but even prior to that, you guys notice there's a change out there. There's a change in every industry. Leaders in every industry are scrambling to try to stay relevant. Relevant to a sense of not trying to make the same amount of money, but even to stay in business. Think about that. It's just insane what you see going on out there. Just the other day, we're driving past the mall, and here's these big box stores like Nordstrom's, empty. Ghost Town closed. Macy's going. You ever think in your lifetime that you would see big box stores? We think they're invincible. We think nothing's going to happen. And it's because things change at such a rapid pace. And as leaders, you got to be cognizant and aware. How do I stay relevant constantly? You know, you can look at companies like Blockbuster. You know, back in the day, I don't know about you guys, if you're as old as I am, Blockbuster's the place where you go get those movies. When they first got put out, you want to be first online. Get that movie. Bring it home. Now what do you got? Netflix. Put Blockbuster out of business. It's actually crazy because in the year 2000, Netflix approached Blockbuster and said, would you like to buy our platform for $50 million? Now think about it. Think if you were Blockbuster and some no-name person comes in, you'd laugh. Well, that's exactly what he did. Laughed. $50 million to get that? Nah, I'm good. We see where it got him. Because Blockbuster is worth Netflix is worth over $32 billion. Now let me ask you a question. If you were in that position at that time and somebody says, hey, $50 million for something that's going to be worth $32 billion, would you do it? Why didn't he? You know why he didn't? Because he wasn't visionary. He didn't see the future. He couldn't predict. He said, that's a bad investment. You know what? I don't have that kind of money, 50 million, but if I knew I could make 32 billion, I'd find a way of coming up with 50 million, right? You see, that's being a visionary. How about the yellow cabs? I mean, I'm originally from New York. Everybody know what a yellow cab is? Go to Manhattan, that's all you'll see. Did they ever think that their industry would be disrupted? Disrupted in a radical way with Uber and Lyft? It's insane. But you know what was really crazy? If you spoke to any cab driver, the yellow cabs, here's what they would say. Those guys, they're not real drivers. They'll be out of business in no time, right? You see, they didn't see the shift coming. Could that be happening with you guys? Because then the other one is Amazon. You know, Amazon, you sit there and go, who's going to buy stuff online? I can just go to the store. They're destroying these big box companies. Jeff Bezos is a genius. And you know what I do? I look at successful people. I look at successful people and I look for the clues. And here's a clue. You think Jeff Bezos is a successful man? Do you think he's knowledgeable? Do you think if he says something you should go, maybe I need to listen to him? Here's what Jeff Bezos says. He goes, if I don't constantly change, my company will be irrelevant. You go, really? Amazon, irrelevant? You see, that man knows that we live in a world that's constantly changing. And if you guys have your eyes closed to it, you'll be left out. Well, here's the sad part, guys. The real estate industry is no different. No different. So when people say, Chuck, why did you move an independent brokerage over to EXP? Is you know why? Because I saw EXP as a disruptor in the industry. Because you're talking about an industry, guys, that has not changed since it's been formed. Listen, changing fee structures is not changing. It's not. You gotta look for something that comes in radically different. That's what EXP is. And that's why people butt heads with it. And they go, oh no, that company's a joke, they're not real, they won't be around. They did the same thing with every one of those other companies. And you can see where they're at. Here's what I'm telling you guys. We moved our brokerage over because there was an opportunity to change our lives forever and to change your lives. That's why we do this. I love changing people's lives. It is exciting to have partners like these guys and change lives. That's what EXP Realty does. They're the only brokerage that empowers the agents to be part owners of the company through their stock. Got stock? We do. And it's working for us. It changes people's lives. Even if you don't know stock, I'm going to tell you right now, stock changes people's lives if you position yourself correctly. So why don't everybody do this? Why don't everybody go in and make these big changes? Well, there's reasons why. Number one, pride and ego. Pride and ego. Do you think it was easy for us to close down a brokerage that we built up, the two of us and some of our staff? Just to walk around and go, I own one of the largest brokerages in the country and we built it. That's powerful. But does that pay my bills all the time? Does that help me get in front of people and bless them? No, it didn't. So number one is you got to get rid of your pride and ego. Number two is comfort. You can't be comfortable and succeeding at the same time and strive for wealth. It doesn't happen. And comfort is a false sense of illusion because you may think you're comfortable, but comfort's a bad place to be because either you're moving forward or you're moving backwards. You think Blockbuster was comfortable? You bet they were. Out of business. Guys, comfort could destroy you. So here's the other thing. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort level and start doing things that will change your life. The other thing I want you to think about, if you don't think our industry's immune to this, look around, guys. Open your eyes. iBuyers are out there. OfferPad. Open Door. Open Door. $5 billion. $5 billion to go publicly traded. That's your competition. I don't care whether you like it or not. It's your competition some way, somehow, it's taking your market share. How about Zillow? You know Zillow for years? Oh no, we're your friends. Anybody ever hear that? Zillow will do that all day long. Look at their posts. We're your friends, no, we're partners. We ain't partners. Watch out because it's going to sneak up on you. You know, what is there? There's that proverb of the frogs in the boiling water, and they're sitting in there, and the pictures are like in a jacuzzi. It's nice. It's warm water. That's what you guys are in until it starts to boil and it's too late. You see, I've seen that. And that's why I'm here telling us agents, let's take back our industry. And EXP Realty is the company that's going to do it. It's because we're joining forces and we're partnering, and they're doing some great things. Glenn Sanford, the owner, genius. He's positioning us, guys. I see it. I built the biggest brokerages. I saw it coming. When he sits there and he has one brokerage. This is not franchise office, guys. Understand this. It's one brokerage throughout the world. No company's ever done that. And what he's going to do is he's going to create a one MLS system. That's incredible. Guys, you have no idea the beginning stages of what we're putting together. And you guys have this opportunity that you're going to jump on that is changing the face of the industry, and our competition doesn't like it. And then the other thing is when you take advice from people who aren't doing it, do you think they're going to give you good advice? Do you think if you went into Keller Williams and they're going to talk highly about EXP Realty or any other brokerage? It's like walking into a Chevy dealership and asking them about a Ford car. What kind of advice you think you're going to get? You see, you know what? As funny as that sounds, that's what a lot of you guys do. I know it. A lot of my agents did it. They go, no, Chuck, we're not going. Your company's going to be out of business. EXP Realty is not a real company. I go, where'd you hear that? Well, Keller Williams had a little seminar. Did you just say that out loud? Seriously? Think about that. This is the opportunity, guys, that will change your life. EXP Realty is disrupting the industry, and people don't like disruptors. They didn't like when Netflix came in, they didn't like Amazon coming in, and they didn't like Ubers and Lyfts. But look where they're at now. So my beautiful wife is going to go an overview and tell you a little about the facts and some of the stuff about EXP Realties with the tools and systems that is changing the playing field, that you guys can change your lives as an agent forever.
I think you got our attention.
Yeah, I know. He's so handsome. I'm sitting here looking at him. I know it.
If Kurt,
You even know it.
Kurt knows
He's
it.
a hot man.
While he's teeing up, if Kurt didn't do a good enough job this morning saying why we people here are standing behind the bar, it's because obviously we're here to support exactly what they're presenting and what they're sharing. And, you know, Mark Z sells just a little bit of real estate around town. And a couple, right? A couple units. And Alabella, of course, was named Century 21 Worldwide. Like, he had that recognition in his lifetime.
I paid for that.
He did pay for that. He's got a bunch of these things that he dusts off on his shelves in his office anymore. Maybe he doesn't have them, he might have left them behind at Century 21. But you know, as we stand back here, you know, I've been dubbed the Queen of Downriver. I didn't name myself that, it's just what happened. Selling roughly 200 homes a year pretty consistently. So if we're seeing the value in what they're presenting, it just makes you think about what could be applied to your business and why do we see the value and what could that translate for you. So I just wanted to reinforce why we're standing here loving on you guys.
Yeah, and you'll get to hear from them as well throughout the presentation. Thank you guys so much for coming. I could not be more excited for you. Honestly, in Michigan, it actually has open ears, and I like to see that. So I'm going to give you some of the details so that you can walk away with the facts. If you think, hi Gogo, I didn't see you come in. If you think that you wish you had this, you know, I went too quickly through it, and you want it, any of us can send it to you. I can send you my slides, whatever works for you. What my job is to not only give you the details, but explain why certain aspects are unique and powerful, more powerful at EXP than it can be somewhere else. So I'm going to go over training tools and benefits. I want to start with the training. You're never going to walk into a real estate office, ask them about their training, and they say, our training sucks. They're never going to say that. Every company says we have great training. But EXP has very distinct reasons why you can't beat their training. And so I'm going to go over that just a little bit today. First of all, we're online. We're virtual. And that's unique in and of itself because I don't know any other organization that has a robust online virtual training platform like we have. And the other thing is you can learn beyond, for sure, your current opportunity. And this is why. Like Chuck said, EXP is one brokerage and we're all owners through stock. So Tina Call has amazing capabilities, so does GoGo, so do all of these people. And who are the people who are training you at EXP? The people who are achieving at a high level. So GoGo, she instructs in social media because that's her expertise. So why would you go learn social media from some marketing schlep who doesn't even know what they're doing when you can go straight to GoGo, who gets all of her business from social media? So we all step up as leaders in the company and we are the ones instructing you. That's what we're doing. So it's beyond what you have now. That's one of the reasons we moved our brokerage, because our agents got excellent training from us, but from us, and we're only so many people. Does that make sense? I mean, you guys are going to learn from the very best, and they want you to be hugely successful, because if you are more successful, our company is more successful, and guess what happens to our ownership? The stock goes up. So we're all very motivated to make you guys successful. We have over 50 hours of online training each week through the EXP world, but that's not even your limit. You have trainings, workshops, masterminds outside of the EXP world, like we have been doing for days. We've been masterminding or going to certain workshops through Facebook groups and workplace and all of these things, so it's inexhaustible. This is the world, the avatar world. For Bella is the platform EXP owns for Bella. That is another strength of our stock, is that platform, because it's not just EXP, it's all over the world. But we learn in here. We have meetings in here. And this is an example of a series, a class series. We have classes from very, very beginner. I know that some of you are just new in real estate. You can get started, but even if you're extremely advanced, like some of you I've met, the sky is the limit of what you can continue to learn to improve yourself. Come on, clicker. Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to go over some of the tools. My clicker is dying, and I don't know why. Okay, thank you. So there are some distinctive things that you get included that are tools. KV Core, I want you to Google that if you don't know what it is. KV Core is a system that you could go buy right now if you have like an extra $6,000. It's a very robust system. And it's a lead generator, it's a lead manager. You can incubate all of your leads into transactions, and once they close, you use it as your CRM for repeat and referral business. It's comprehensive, it has marketing, website, it has artificial intelligence. It's an excellent system, and it's included with your EXP when you join EXP. It comes with it. Workplace is it's like Facebook, but for work. And I'll give you one example. There are all kinds of groups. One of them that is really impressive is the referral network. Because I don't want to give any referral outside of EXP, ever. Why? Because we own it. So why would I give my business to anybody but EXP? So I gave a referral over to North Carolina. Well, I'm going to make sure it goes to someone who's in North Carolina through EXP. I caught the kid, right? So workplace is where you go to join different groups or to network or to learn or whatever. I'm going to let Mark Z talk about the iBuyer system a little bit because he's got a lot of knowledge in that. So.
Who here is familiar with iBuyer? You guys heard the term?
Yep.
Some of you? iBuyer is, it's been relatively new on the scene the last 2-3 years. Some major corporations like Zillow, HomeLight have taken place in iBuyer. iBuyer is something that you guys have to be aware of because iBuyer can eliminate us. What do I mean by that? iBuyer is a program that is backed by Zillow and some of these major corporations who have billions and billions of dollars behind them in order to watch this industry completely be disrupted. Why? Because we make a lot of money. And whenever there's an industry that makes a lot of money, people want in those pockets. And corporate America and the public wants in our pockets. They think that we make too much money. That's what they think, right? If you're not aligned with a company that has an iBuyer program, which if you're not in EXP, there is no other brokerage that has an iBuyer program. Zillow is changing the industry throughout the entire country. They're testing it out in markets. It's very highly successful. An iBuyer program is where a company like Zillow or OfferPads or Open Door will come in and give a consumer an offer on their home. They'll buy their home, close on their timeline, and then use one of their agents to go out and buy another home. And they'll time it seamlessly. Very similar to the auto industry. When you have a car and you go and buy a new car, you can trade that car in, right? Now you know when you give them that trade in, you're taking less. You can go try to sell it on your own. But do most of us? No. Does everybody? No, some people do. But at least half of the entire auto industry just trades in their car. Just imagine if our industry turned into that. It very well could, right? People could take a little less on their home in order to avoid showings, negotiations, dealing with buyers, having a deal fall apart. They could sell their home to Zillow, close when they want, and then purchase a new home. Where does that leave all of you? Leaves you out, or getting paid a lot less. So what did EXP do? What did Glenn Stafford do? He's seen this as a threat. So we started our own iBuyer program.
Yep.
And we can compete with Zillow. We can get our clients 1, 2, 3, 4 offers. You can actually offer the program. You can advertise a program that you can buy the house for cash. Why? Because you can take that address, plug it into our system, and the investors will give you the prices that they'll be able to offer. Now you can go head to head with Zillow. This is a company who has our backs. Why? We're agent owned. We sit in on these meetings. We come up with these systems. If you're not with a brokerage that has your back, you're going to get eliminated in this industry. It's changing, and it's changing fast. Your current brokerages will never tell you this. They'll tell you it's not going to last. They'll tell you that this company can't remain profitable. Guess what? Last quarter, we reported an $8 million profit. $8 million. Wall Street opened up their eyes. They took our stock from $8 a share and increased it 600%. It's in the 40s. Guess what? When you're with EXP, you get stock when you sell your first home. You get stock when you attract another agent. You get stock when you cap. Many of us on stage have stock that 4 months ago, was worth $30,000, $40,000, and now is worth over $500,000, close to $1 million. Millionaires were made in the last 6 months because of this stock. And when you're with EXP, you get granted this stock. Guys by the name of Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. Do you know how these guys went from millionaires to billionaires onto zillionaires? Because their stock went from $100 a share to $200 a share to $300 a share to over $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a share. That's what stock can do. So if you're not with a company that has your back, that's going to change with the industry as fast as it's changing, you could be sitting on the sidelines. Let's say if we took it a step further. Guess what he did about 2 months ago? He bought his own IDX. He bought Showcase IDX. IDX is the platform. It's the engine that takes the information from the MLS and spits it out to the public. We can now own our own MLS and control the data and control the information. One MLS with listings all over the world. There's no other brokerage that owns their own MLS, owns their own IDX. Lance Sanford did it. He bought Showcase IDX and he now controls the data. We're just getting started. We're going to be relevant and we're going to be able to compete with anybody else that comes on the scene. Now, does that mean that we're going to be the only company? No. But we're going to be competing against different companies. I don't see us competing against the Century 21s and these Berkshire Hathaway's and these companies that aren't changing fast enough. We're going to be competing against Zillow and HomeLight and these companies that are on cutting edge technology. These are the companies that are changing the industry. And it's just a matter of whether you see it coming or you sit on the sideline and keep believing what your current broker tells you.
Good job, well said. People told me
I
he
couldn't
was
say that
smart,
again.
but I wasn't convinced until just now.
Here's a problem. I couldn't say it again.
You know what's interesting? When my husband and I had Revelation, our brokerage, my husband's definitely a visionary, and we created our own internal private, coming soon, MLS, and that's why we had like quadruple the market share of any other company around us, because a lot of our listings never went anywhere else. It just stayed right in-house, and that's what EXP sees too. I'm really excited for that.
So people were forced to come to you.
Yeah, if
So
they
you
wanted
have
to.
the inventory.
Yep, that's absolutely true. That was just one reason. Another tool is that world, and it's not just for training. We jump in the world to get our accounting questions answered. We jump in the world sometimes to talk to our broker, or to learn about stock, or to meet with our clients, or meet with our teams. So it has multiple uses, and it's a great tool. We have tons of wealth building opportunities, which you're going to hear the details about, and customizable marketing. We have a whole marketing suite for your flyers, your brochures, your posts, your presentations, all these different materials. You can just go in there. It's smart. It populates your information in there because you have a login, and then you're able to generate these pieces on your own, so you don't have to depend on other people to create these marketing pieces. We do have some really cool benefits. So we've talked about training tools. Now let's talk about some benefits. You have access to agent attraction tools and support. That is an opportunity in EXP that no other company offers, and I'm going to explain that a little bit too. We have live training. You're in one. You know, just because we're virtual doesn't mean that we don't have all of these face-to-face things going on. Workshops, masterminds, you have access. Now, this doesn't happen anywhere. And I know this for a fact because when we owned our own company, you can just go up to any producer and they give you the time of day. It wasn't realistic. But in this company, your top producers are so invested in the company that they are automatically invested in your success. When one of my partners calls me, I pick up the phone. I answer it. I answer their questions and I help. And that is a level of collaboration I thought I knew what I was going to expect, but the experience of that high level of collaboration, what I come to if I had a Remax in Arizona and they were Remax, would I come to Michigan to talk to them? Why? It doesn't make any sense. But because we're just this one brokerage and we have stock and all of that, the collaboration is super deep. Go ahead to the next one. EXP Enterprise is just fun to know about because you have one login. How frustrating, you have to log in here for this and here for that and here for this, but they kind of put it all together, so you log into one place for your SkySlope, which is transaction management, your KV Core, your stock, your transactions. It's just very convenient and well organized, which is a testament to how advanced EXP stays. We have stock, which I'll tell you the details in a minute, because you've heard Mark talk about that. Healthcare, we actually offer group healthcare, which has saved many of my agents thousands and thousands of dollars. And I know it's good because enough people have told me it's amazing. So I'll give you the website to that so you can check it out. We have revenue share, which I will explain, and tons of career opportunities. Here's the website, right there, expagenthealthcare.com. You can go on there and start to do some investigations on what that looks like if that's something that appeals to you. So it's expagenthealthcare.com. Another reason why we were so excited to move our brokerage over is it's the only brokerage I've ever encountered that can do justice for a new agent and can move you through your career. And this move to EXP will be the last move you ever make. Because I don't care if you're a single agent, you want to build a team, you want to be a mentor, a transaction coordinator, any facet of the real estate industry, EXP can support you in your growth because you're going to change over time. If you're new, in 6 months or a year, you're going to feel differently than you did when you were new. And you'll never have to move again because you have inexhaustible resources to get you where you want to be. What does it cost? Beep. What would I just punch in the gut every time I want? Next slide.
Might not stand there.
I know. I would bounce back and fall to the floor. So we are an 80-20 split with a cap of $16,000. So you're never going to pay more than $16,000 in a year. I'll tell you what happens after you cap. $85 a month gets you every tool, all of the training in the world. It's all included, KV Core, all of that. And then E&O is awesome. It's only $40 per transaction, and once you pay $500 in, that's your insurance. You never pay more than $500 a year in E&O, which I think is crazy, but that's great. And then we pay $25 per transaction to have our brokers look at our file. Those are all of the costs. Once you cap, you have no split anymore for the rest of the year. And in fact, they reward you in so many different ways for being a producer. So after you cap, you have a $250 transaction fee, and that even goes down again the more that you produce. And your cap resets every year. So we have this thing called Icon Agent Status. It's one of the most exciting things for producing agents, or to aspire to. So once you cap, you pay in your $16,000. If I give the company $16,000 and then I do 20 more transactions, I'm an Icon agent. And some really cool things happen once you're an Icon agent. They will take, basically, you can earn your entire $16,000 back in stock, which is what, how many Icon agents do we have in here right now? Look around. These people say, here's what EXP does. Give me $16,000 and then go bust your butt for 20 more transactions and I'll give it back to you and help you build wealth. And that is phenomenal. Let's see, keep going. Okay, how do you earn stock? And I'm gonna explain how you earn stock, and then I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit to talk about stock. So I give you a heads up there. So when you sell your first home, every single year, they give you $200 in stock. Recruiting, they give you stock for that. If you pay in your cap, even if you haven't gotten any farther than your cap, they give you $400 in stock. Then I told you what happens when you become an Icon agent. You can get your whole cap back in stock. And they also allow you, when you close a deal, if you want to, you don't have to, you can take 5% of your commission that you earn and you can buy stock at a 10% discount, which I don't know why everyone wouldn't do that all the time, right? So you don't have to, but you can. And then there are some vesting periods for the awarded stock, but the stock that you purchase is yours with just a short waiting period. So it's just like any publicly traded company, they have standard holding periods. Michelle, talk a little bit about your experience with stock. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've turned into like the testimonial story for stock. But it wasn't me, it as my husband, like making these decisions. I just run like hell and make the money, and I go clean up that. I made some, fix it, and so he does that. But so I told you I'm selling right around 200 homes a year for several years running. I moved my business over to EXP. Actually, we had one-on-one conversations. So I'm going to add this last night. You didn't know this part. I moved my business over to EXP Realty, and my goal was zero. I wanted to zero out my fees. I was paying my brokerage a sweetheart deal at an independent office, paying $55,000 a year. I was stealing from them, and I had such a great deal at my independent brokerage. So I thought to myself, if I move over, do exactly the same thing that I've always done, they're gonna give me $16,000 in stock back, which will help pad my retirement. Cool. If the stock goes down, it's the same as where I was. If the stock goes up, it's just gravy. So, okay, great. I'm non-padding my retirement for what I would have paid my broker. Oh wait, hang on. I came over with 3 people selling. I wasn't like some of these big teams that came over to EXP. No, we're 3 people. Myself, my buyer's agent, Amy, and Lisa, who was doing maybe 10, 20 deals a year. I'm like, if I can get these agents to sell and get 100% commission, I could probably teach 3 more people how to sell real estate and make them successful. And there's incentives to do that, right? So I'm like, okay, 6 people all being rewarded back to me from EXP at $2,800 a head for the year. That's $16,800. Cool. I didn't pay my broker not a nickel, and they're gonna give me $16,000 back in stock. I'm in. I want zero. I want to make nothing. I just want to zero out my overhead.
And that was thinking too small.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid for this little girl from downriver who, you saw my picture last night, was like this, holding up beer cans to my mom and dad, and a boys t-shirt, and I don't even have brothers. Anyway, yeah, it's true. And a football t-shirt. Anyway. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So we come over to EXP, I do nothing different. And it's been 29 months that I've been with the company, and we did aggressively buy. We signed up for all the programs and options that you could with EXP. And I stand here today with 29 months in the company, $920,000 in stock in the company.
How much was given to you?
Honestly, my husband and I, the only thing we did outside of what was given to us, or the buy down, was we took $50,000 and treated it like we were buying a rental property, and we bought stock. And that's when we bought it, it was like $8 a share. But that $50,000 isn't shit compared to the rest of what the company
That's the quote we take out of the presentation.
Yeah. So when they say that this company is making millionaires, it's making millionaires. And what's important to take away from this is, yeah, I have a really good success story. It's cool, right? But what's important to take away is people think, oh, it's too late. I'm gonna say right now, sorry for sensitive, that's bullshit. It's not too late.
It's not.
Because this company just hired Michael Valdez. I know you know who Juan Valdez is, but do you guys know who Michael Valdez is? Have you heard of him? Okay. He was the CEO of Realogy. Realogy is Coldwell Banker, Century 21, ERA, Better Homes and Gardens. They created the global brand that's who Michael Valdez did for that organization, for Realogy. EXP just brought him on to our company to go global. We're in what, 8 countries right now? 8?
So yeah.
8. I don't know how many countries there are in the world, but I promise there's more than 8. Mm-hmm. So when you look at, okay, Keller Williams reports that they have 175,000 agents, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Century 21, what, 150,000? Something like that, right? Now let's go Remax. Anyone know how many total in Remax? Okay.
-4 last year.
Negative 4. But how many negatives do we gotta go with? But let's add up the Coldwell Bankers. Let's add up the Berkshires. Let's add up the, right? Even let's go out of the area. Let's add up Compass. Let's add up Sotheby's. Let's add up these people that we haven't heard of on a national and global scale, right? Let's do that math. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So don't you tell yourself it's too late and that, oh, these people have done it. The Tina Calls have done it. The Randy Gallos have done it. Bull. It's an opportunity.
It is. It is. So I love what she said. Just by doing the same thing, I don't care if you're brand new, just by doing what you're going to do at any other company, mm-hmm. EXP rewards you and says, hey, thanks for being better. now I give you a little bit more stake in the company. Thanks for being better. Here's a little more stake in the company. And so between us being fully invested with the people who come over and in each other, and you just going and getting better and getting rewarded for it, that's enough. I could stop right there, and you should all be way more excited than your faces look right now. So, I mean, but there's one other part of it that I'm personally really excited about, and you could be too, because it's an opportunity, and it's the benefit of agent attraction. You know, people are coming to EXP whether you attract them or not. Somebody's attracting them, and we feel like we're attracting them to something really special and really awesome. But we could just get like a trophy. But I like money better than trophies. I'm just saying, I'm not afraid of money. So as Kurt Schewel always says, this is just a chart. If you want details, I can send you an explainer video. But basically, here's what you should know. If you attract an agent to you and help them become successful, EXP rewards you. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost them anything. The company has built that into their structure because they know if we can go out there and recruit buyers and sellers, we'll probably be good at recruiting each other as well. And so they recognize that and they put it in the structure. So you can make, every time people make sales in your organization down 7 levels, we can get you the details later, they just say thank you and I will tangibly reward you with more than a plaque, right?
So I'm going to go over some things, guys, that how many here really just absolutely love the lifestyle you're living and you want no changes in it at all? Good, I like that, because there always should be somebody who says, I love what I'm doing and I'm successful and living a good life. Well, one thing I can tell you, running the brokerage, and when people say, what was one of the other factors? One of the other factors of running a brokerage is I still had all the overhead, I still had the responsibilities, the liabilities. So although we were taking nice lavish vacations and going to Europe for a month, I was always still tied to that business. There is a fine line between people who struggle in the world today and people who prosper, people who have wealth. And if anybody knows the cash flow quadrant, Robert Kiyosaki had put this out. And Robert Kiyosaki says what you want to do is get on the right side of the quadrant, not the left side. Unfortunately, most people are on the left side. That's employee and self-employed. And what Robert says is you want to go on to the business or the investor side. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you guys today. Because we did everything in the real estate industry, and everything meaning right from we started out broke, to being one of the top agents in the country, to running one of the top teams in the country, to building one of the largest real estate brokerages in the country. I can guarantee there are very, very, very few people in the entire real estate industry that have done what we have done. And one of the things that comes with that is knowledge. Knowledge that most real estate agents never see. Knowledge that I'm going to share with you guys right now that you might say to yourself, wow, I never knew that. Now, although I don't sit and say that people blatantly lie to you, I will tell you something. Real estate brokers and owners give a false sense of narrative to real estate agents. It's a little deceiving. And sometimes it's not purposely done because we did the same thing. But we're going to share that with you and tell you why EXP really combats that and is really there for the agents. So with using the cash flow quadrant, here's what I'm going to tell you. Robert Kiyosaki built this. This is just pretty much everybody out there in the world, but it's a little different for real estate agents. And that's what I'm going to go over with you right now. So what do I mean by it's a little different than real estate agents? E is employee. So really what an employee means is somebody that exchanges time for money. So in reality, although we could say it's real estate agents or independent contractors, in reality, we're going to treat you like an employee. That's really what you're going to be doing work-wise. So as an employee, you're going to exchange time for money. You're going to work hard. You're going to go, I want to make some money, so I'm going to get out there and work and build up my little nest egg. But then the question comes, retirement. When was the last time any of you guys have been to a real estate agent's retirement party? Right? It don't happen. It doesn't happen. Unfortunately, most of us don't realize that till it's too late. And when it's too late, we go, what do we have to show for all the years that we worked? And that's where it comes down to, what do you have to show for it? Maybe some awards? Maybe you guys got awards, and your company patted you on the back. That's a great way to keep you involved, right? Keep you motivated, and technically you're making someone else's money. So I love this. Look at this. I saw my broker with a brand new car, and he said, wow, what an amazing car you got there. And he replied, if you work hard, sell more homes, and strive for excellence, I'll get another one next year. And the crazy part is, guys, that is what you do. They're going to encourage you. They're going to cheer you on. We did it. And during maybe the end of the year, we bought some nice trophies, and we gave them out to appease you guys. But we were the ones making the wealth. There's a difference. So as real estate agents, you go, okay, we're entrepreneurs by nature, a lot of us. And a lot of us out here go, all right, I got the awards. I'm a producing agent. What's next? Anybody know what's next as a real estate agent? I got it. I'm going to build a team. See, because a team is going to get me some residual income. So I get to the other part of the quadrant, which is the self-employed, but we're going to call it the team concept for real estate agents. The good old team concept. I don't know about you guys, but I love the buzz because I own the brokerage. This whole buzz about teams are the way to go. You know what? I used to tell my agents that. Here's what I would tell my agents all the time. I go, the real estate industry is great for you guys because you can build a business under someone else's umbrella. Now, I was the umbrella they were building under. But do you realize what happens when you build a team? Here's what happens when you build a team. You start to become responsible for the agent. So you recruit them, right? You want to build your team, you got to recruit them. So what are you doing for the broker? You're helping him build his company. So now all of a sudden he's like, yeah, go build a team. Get a lot of teams in here because you're going to help me build. Then what else do you start to realize you do? You become the trainer. You actually become the person answering all the questions. And then you actually start to go, what the hell am I in? I'm getting sucked into this world of building a team, and now I'm selling less real estate because I'm spending my time with these people who don't want to work. This is what I heard all the time, guys. Team leaders go, Chuck, how do you solve this problem? He goes, I'm recruiting agents, I'm helping them, I'm pouring into them, and here's the two things that happen. They don't sell any real estate, so I don't make any extra money. Or you get the ones that start killing it that would have killed it anyway. And then they go, hey, thanks for the help. I'm now just going to hang my license at the brokerage. And one agent actually said to me one time, he goes, Chuck, this is maddening. He goes, I come into work, I build up my team, they leave my team, they stay at your company, I come into the office every day, and the idiots I helped build, they're just sitting there waving at me. And they go, saying to myself, and I'm the one making the money. That's the part you get to, is you go through these steps and you think that you're the one that's building a business, but really what you did is now you own a job. You own a job pouring into other people and helping them grow and making the brokerage money, and then we fall back into that, helping the brokerage make money. But you know what? This is the industry we live in, that we're part of. The team concept. That's the solve all to everything. No, it's not. You know what? For years, people used to say to me, man, if I ever had to do this all over again, I'd build the biggest team under a brokerage that could work for a team. And then I used to say, but nothing exists. I've been saying that for what, 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
I almost spoke prophecy into this company. No kidding, it was actually crazy. But you think that's the logical thing. I'm going to share something else with you. For the people who think that they're not recruiters, do you know what your brokers and owners do for you top agents and teams? Do you know how they use you? Because you have no idea. They'll sit there and brag to brand new agents coming in. Hey, do you know who we have here? We have Tina Cole at the brokerage. We got Mark Z at the brokerage. We got Al at the brokerage. You see, they use you to recruit other agents. And there's a brokerage in Arizona that does it all the time. And then you know why they lose their agents? The agents come to me and they go, because in the interview, They sat and said, do you realize what you're gonna get at this brokerage? We have this producer, this producer, this producer, this producer. So what are they really selling to that agent? That those producers are gonna help them grow. Really, why else would you care? And then they go, these agents don't wanna talk to me. They don't. You're being used anyway. So it's crazy, it's the maddening rat race. But now let's go to the last one, the business owner. So Robert Kiyosaki says, you need to get on the right side of the quadrant. And I agree. And that was the logical step we said, because we wanted to get out of running a team. Let's own a brokerage. We worked our butts off to build a brokerage. And we built it, and yes, we were making money. But let me ask you a question. How many people out here, if you wanted to get to that level, have the money to open up a brokerage? It's a lot of money. Most of us can't do it. So you won't even have the opportunity. So as we go through, you're going to take on liabilities, responsibilities, headaches. It's one thing after another. But then it hit us. Do you really own a business? And this is the part when I'm going to tell you guys, which was life-changing for us, and what I want to share with you to go through the logic of why EXP is the perfect company. Because we got to a point that we built up this brokerage, and about 4 years ago, 3 companies offered to buy us. 3. And the best offer was $6 million.
We had like 350 agents at the time.
$6 million. That's not a bad chunk of change. But am I going to retire on $6 million? Not with the lifestyle I want. Not with 6 kids that are sucking me dry there. So the point is $6 million, but here's where I knew I didn't own a business. There was contingencies. So when you own a brokerage and somebody wants to buy you, the first thing they're going to say to you is, you have to stay on as an employee for at least 2 years. Why? Because I was the culture. And I'm sitting here going, what? A job? I did all this to get out of a job. I might as well stay there and make the money myself. And then there was one more contingency that was the icing on the cake. They said it's also $6 million is contingent on how many agents stay. You guys are independent contractors. I don't have any control. So think of this, put yourself in my shoes. Even if that $6 million was enticing, even if I was willing to stay on as a job and got paid some money, I don't even know if I was going to get the $6 million, and I wouldn't know if that was the dollar amount until I committed and see how many agents actually left. Once that happens, it's too late. Do you see? Do you see how this rat race, as a real estate agent, there really isn't any answers in the same old model of real estate? Don't let it fool you. I'm hearing companies out there going, we're virtual now. You're not virtual.
You got a Zoom account.
You got a Zoom. We were designed, we were set up for this. So let's go to the last part of the quadrant, which was the investor. Now, let me ask you guys, if you want to change your life, if you want to get out of the rat race, if you want to say, you know what, I want to do some nice vacations, I want some nice stuff. And it doesn't have to be hundreds of millions. But what if you got to a point where you were making 20, 30,000 residual a month? That's life-changing for some people. But the investor stamp, the part of it is here's how you do it, because this is where you get your best financial reward, where you let money work for you. You're not exchanging time for money. You know that saying is, are you making money in your sleep? And I'm sure you all heard it, but I'm going to show you how you can. So you could buy rental homes, right? After I found that out, I said, oh my gosh, honey, we're in trouble. We're never going to be able to retire. Let's buy some houses. How many of you guys have hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep buying one house after another? Because 1, 2, 3, even 4 houses isn't going to set you up for retirement. Most people don't have that type of cash laying around. So that really isn't much of an option for people. Get stock. Now, we all know this. Mark Z made a great point. Some of the wealthiest people make money in stock. I was never a stock person. I didn't understand it. But now being in it, I'm sitting here going, you pick the right stocks, you can make a killing. It makes millionaires. Think about it. She's a millionaire just from stock. from doing the same thing she's always done. She didn't come in, she wasn't some stock guru, she didn't hire some person to figure out what stock to buy. She's just selling real estate just like she always has. It has $1 million. So, stock.
I just want to
Not
borrow
just
some
ask
life
me
from
for
one
money.
Lunch and dinner on Michelle?
Yeah.
Hey, let me say this about Al though. Al was so busy selling real estate, 'cause I'm calling him out, he's asking me for money. This guy was so busy selling real estate, he forgot his login to check his brokerage account of what EXP got him. He logged in and found $250,000 he didn't know he had.
That's awesome.
For the record, I don't have it. She knows. Yeah, his wife does.
So here's where we're at, guys. We're at this point to go, how can I change your life? And I'm not sitting here going selling you something, hey, it's going to cost you a few $100,000 to get into EXP or whatever it is. I'm not sitting here trying to sell you a program that you got to go out and do. You know what made me really enticed by trading in this brokerage and doing what I'm doing is because I can take ordinary people who got brand new in real estate, and I can change your lives. It's easy. It does take work. There's no magic pill. But there's nothing magical. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to have great looks. You don't need to have rich parents. I can change anyone's lives. I changed ours. So what I'm going to tell you is, how do you do that? How do you get into that investor status through EXP Realty? That's what we're talking about right now. Because no other company, none, not one other company could put you into that investor category by doing the same thing you're doing. And that's just selling real estate. So how do you do it? Well, first I'm going to tell you one thing. The biggest thing, change your mindset. It's a mindset shift. It's that easy. Just shift your mindset. And there's 3 determining factors to get in there. Number 1 is the power of compounding. If you're not compounding your money, you will never get to that level of enjoying your life the way you want to. EXP provides that. It provides that just by selling real estate, you're going to get stock in a company. Now, here's the cool thing. You're going to just look up here. This is just a little tip of the rock stars of this company. We're the ones building your company. I tell people all the time, if you were to open up a real estate brokerage, would you want me as a partner? I built a $2 billion a year company. How many people would want me as their partner?
I'm in.
Yep. Here's the thing, you couldn't afford me. You couldn't afford me. Now you can. I'm your partner. I'm these guys' partners. When he called me up, when Kirk called me up and said, Chuck, come on down. I'm like, absolutely, we're partners. It didn't cost him anything. Nothing. Well, he did. He gave me $1. He gave me $1 yesterday.
I did. I paid him because he said you didn't pay
Make
me.
a lot of money, Chuck.
Yeah.
True. I gave him
But
$1.
my point is, guys, here's the part, and anybody else ever watching this, here's the cool part. Why is EXP growing? Why are they signing on 2,000 agents a month? What is the buzz out there? The buzz out there is like-minded people surrounding themselves with like-minded people create an energy and a synergy. It's like a juggernaut that's unstoppable.
Ooh, a juggernaut.
I'm just picturing superheroes cartoon. I almost ran through this.
That was not in yesterday's presentation.
The next thing your mindset should change is you cannot save your way to wealth. Guys, you can't outwork and sit there and go, well, I'm just going to put more time in, I'm going to build a team, I'm going to sell more real estate, I'm going to become wealthy. It will not happen. Somebody in a post just said, they put out a thing that was one of my old agents. Feel sorry for people like this. He goes, yeah, but you got the highest fees in the industry. Scarcity mindset. You're focused on what you think you're going to save and not what you're going to make. You want to be that blockbuster? They were focusing on what they thought they were saving and what they were making in their comfort, not what the possibility was. Guys, here's the thing. Success leaves clues. There's a lot of clues. And then the last thing, guys, is when an opportunity presents itself. Act on it. It takes action. Guys, I built a company by connecting the dots. I watch industries, I watch what's going on, I'm gonna connect the dots. I'm sharing with you guys. If you guys could look at me, the why did you move a $15 million company that you guys built up? Here's what I'm gonna give you a little hint. That's called a clue. It's a clue.
That wasn't yesterday either.
No.
It's a clue. Yes.
So when you just said something right now, you know, the fees or the fees that we're having to pay and whatnot, and you know, I was sharing with you guys my stock story, her stock story, Mark's stock, or all of our stock story, and I don't know much about stocks either, but you just have to look at something. I feel like with EXP, they pay us to work for them, okay? And you have to look at it that way, because my 16,000 cap, I've already gotten back into stock, okay? My stock was already, I didn't know it was that much, right? So I just didn't feel like in this company, you gotta look at the $85 a month. I know it costs more than that to go to dinner. You know, it's just, you look at the 16 and the 85 and whatever we're paying, guys, I promise you, once you get into this company, EXP is pretty much paying us to work for them. We are agent owners. We all partners together. We all help each other. And that's the beauty of this company, is collaboration and training. You know, Zoom calls. How many people are zoomed out? Are you guys like just pretty much, you know, like, so you get these Zoom and then you go in a virtual world, you don't have to be dressed and you get training 15 classes a day.
Oh, that's
Wait a
crazy.
minute. You know what?
Yesterday you were
Yesterday
connected
we were connecting
physically, now you're just
Now we're not
thinking.
dressing.
Hey, I wasn't gonna repeat,
Mark's
guys.
not standing next to you anymore.
I'm not gonna do that.
Mark's drawing the
Just gave me
line.
his initial now, next time we're gonna work on
Did I say? Me dressed up like in a suit.
I think what Ken, you actually did a video that was similar to that on your Zoom call with the suit, and then
Oh,
you
yeah,
walked away
the
and
shorts.
you just had the shorts on.
Yeah.
So it's a true, guys. Look, we're not. Nobody's asking you to change what you're doing. That's the beauty of it. And the beauty of it is being part of EXP Realty. You get trained to sell more real estate, and we're going to help you make more money. And then when people sit, wait to my right here.
So I can look closely at
Oh,
you.
jeez. I'm in trouble. So when people look at us and they go, but we're not you. We're not these guys. Here's the one thing, the takeaway I want to give you. I was never this guy. I grew up in New York, running clubs for the mob. I was a drug dealer. I was a drug addict. I was broke. I never even owned real estate when I got
You
our
always
first
leave out
2
the
years. And you always like to edit it. Guys, we're no different than you. We're no different. That's why I'm driven to be partners with people that want to change their life. There's nowhere you're at that you can't change your life. And I can prove that. But it does take action. It does take a movement on your part. But I'm going to tell you, when you got partners like this, I look around, I fly in here, and I go, this is why I did what I did. I go, because when we built it, we were alone. It was just the two of us. And when Proverbs 27:17 says, as iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another, there's no stopping us. We're your partners, guys. I really tell you right now, this is the company that will change the industry. We will be the world's largest real estate brokerage, and it's because agents are the ones that are running it. Not those guys that want another car from you, that just want to hand you a trophy every year.